from the attack to lay out their demands. They're calling the attacks the Blacklist.
The Blacklist.
The Blacklist.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Splinter Cell Blacklist Perfectionist difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 4. It's entitled Private Estate. So, I recorded this mission, and it was the third mission in a row where I fucked up the Ghost Mastery bonus, and all because of something very silly. You know, not realising that somebody'd seen a body or noticed my movements, and I got a Panther bonus instead of a Ghost bonus, and I drew a line on this mission. I said I'm going to play this one again. And this is the only level of the game that I recorded twice. Everything else is my first successful playthrough of it. This one isn't, because it just bugged me to death. I did everything right, and I still got punished, so I decided to do it again, and lo and behold, you will get a Ghost bonus if you follow this guide on this level. So, the checkpoint just then, the AI on this section is a pain in the dick. Because sometimes those two guys that are talking in the garage right now will not be together and you'll be able to stealth through there easily. Other times they will. This dog here sometimes never shows up. Other times he does. So my advice, get the dog's attention, take the dog out, and then stealth through the next courtyard. It makes it so much easier when you don't have to worry about the dogs. Like, he's the first one I think we've come up against in the game. But I can tell you right now, guys, the dogs... Oh no, we met one earlier, sorry, in the police station. Dogs suck. They suck so bad. Like, they will hear you, or they'll detect you from some wicked range, and they'll bark, and then all the guards will come for you, and it's so awkward. But now that this guy's busy working on the truck and the dog's been taken out, I'm going to move over here, I'm going to wait for him to turn his back, and I know exactly how he's going to do it because I've spent quite a long time on these moments. He's going to come over to where the computer was, where the laptop was, he's going to stand there, and then he's going to turn back towards the car. As soon as he starts to turn, we're going to drop, we're going to start moving. So there was the drop, here's me doing a little crouch walk. Somebody saw me on the left. From this point onwards, you want to stealth between cover, using the cover move, because it's just so much more useful. If you see anybody looking at you, you might want to consider taking out the garden lights. I don't need to on this moment, because when you get here, you're pretty much safe. Something to bear in mind, though, I got to this next area, all the guards were on the other side of the hall, and I ran crouched on this part, all the way along this side to the exit, or to the next bit, like I'm kind of doing now, but I did it from a little further back. I did not get any alerted signs, I did not get those white symbols to tell you somebody was looking at me, and I did not get the Ghost bonus. I got a Panther bonus, and the only thing I could chalk it up to was running, because I didn't get that undisturbed bonus there. I got like 200 fucking pence. You did a shit job, Sam, congratulations. So, if you are the same as me and you end up tripping over that moment and you don't know why, make sure you hit the restart the checkpoint or you'll have to restart the level. But this bit here, I've tried going the low way and I find the top way to be safer. It just seems to work. The only problem is this right here. The pattern of the two guys that can appear on this top deck is kind of random. And did you see that then? He was looking at me, I went into cover and it took it all away. That dog positions are always random as well. He's a bastard, him. He'll move all the way up this avenue and all the way back, and sometimes there's a guy with him. So you've got to be super careful, folks, and that's the toughest thing about this guide. Some of the stuff you're going to watch is not how it's going to work on your game every time, so you're going to be really patient or you'll just get frustrated. And if you're interested in watching Splinter Cell, it's brilliant, because you can watch all the walkthroughs that people are putting up, and each one's going to be a little bit different. But if you're having trouble on a level, and you're going to YouTube for advice, and the stuff you're seeing in the video isn't happening in yours, it's just going to piss you off. And like, on games that have set AI paths and set AI behaviours, I get so many comments by people saying, this doesn't happen on my game, this is bullshit, you know, you're playing on an easier difficulty because X doesn't happen or Y happens. All those kind of things are probably going to be much, much steeper on this game, just because of the way that Ubisoft have made the computer respond. And on the one half, it's made the game awesome, because every time you play it, it's subtly different for subtle reasons. But at the same time, for guide makers like myself, it's going to probably make our life hell, because there's going to be so many difficulty doubters and so many people who just aren't getting the same results that these players are showing. And the one thing that I try to tell people that they don't seem to realise is these videos are edited, folks. They're all edited. If you're making good walkthroughs, your guides are edited. Like, nobody does everything the first time. And there'll be some people who can do a really good job and you know, not die too much, not get killed too much, but at the same time, they don't do everything perfectly. No one can, guys. It's called being human. We're not robots. And these videos only show you the times where everything went good, everything went well. Like right now, where I'm moving with a force really well through the level, avoiding people on the hardest difficulty. And it looks beautiful, but that's not every single play. And there were a couple of fuck-ups before I got this one. And that was in the previous run. This run was clean as hell, and I was very happy with it, actually.
Sam, we've got a problem.
But if you're ever getting frustrated with a guide on YouTube, instead of just, you know, commenting something aggressive and unnecessary, you might want to just think about, have they edited it? You know, how many times did it take them? Because you could be watching a 5-minute video that took 5 hours to record. You don't see the struggle, and that's what I always try to remind people who don't take into consideration what a lot of people who make guides and things of that nature and the effort that they put in, because it's so easy to leave, you know, a derogatory bad comment on a video. It's much more difficult to just leave and watch something you do enjoy. But the safe house here, if you follow the path that I just did, the checkpoint's on the balcony. The room he's in right now is the room that you need to go to end this part of the level. We're just waiting for him to leave, and he's extremely thorough. He's super paranoid, doing his old looking left, looking right, and as soon as he starts to move, you want to sneak into the bathroom. There'll be a quick time event prompt, boom, there you go. There's your checkpoint, and then this is the final part of the level. So this is a mandatory action sequence. Once again, if you're going for the no kills, you cannot do anything lethal. I recommend both sleeping gas and tranquilizer gun. 2 guys are going to blast through this door, they're going to breach it, and I'm going to put them both to sleep. So there he is. There's the grenade. There's the double stealth knockout. So now we can move forward. The guy who's with you, he's going to rush all the way down this set of steps. He's going to sit behind that couch. We're going to sit up here, and we're going to chuck another sleeping bomb at these dudes as they rush forward. Tenchu style. So as soon as they start moving, throw your grenade. There's 1, there's 2. Do we get 3? Yep, there's 3. So that's 3 dudes, which means I think there's 2 more left, or 1 more. And the thing is, if you do what I did just then, these guys will be super nervous and they'll not come into this room. If that doesn't work the way it did for me, they may rush all the way up to your contact, so you might have to protect him, so just bear that in mind. But to get the stealth bonus here, you have to knock all of them out and none of them can see you. So, move from cover to cover. There he is. Am I going to blind fire the stun gun? What's this dude doing? Elite special force dude who's got goggles that can see you when you're in shadow, and he's an idiot. Just take him out easily. When Sam says it's clear, you're in no threat up until the next checkpoint. So follow, there you go, look at that. 10 times hostiles undisturbed, nearly 3.5k, that is a nice bonus. So feel free to jog through these next 2 arenas.
Give me options.
Here's a little cutscene. You'll notice I've tried to skip it, but the game loads a little while before you skip the cutscenes, and I've left a couple of them in because they're quite short.
No, if I get shot, it won't be in the back.
And what's going to happen here is this game has a fetish for making you grab people like a human shield. Only you're not using them for protection, you're protecting them in a really rough manner. And on my first playthrough, I didn't even realise you could hold A, and you could kind of roadie run with them to move fast, so I was walking everywhere like an idiot. So if anybody's wondering how I move fast, all you do is hold run, and I just didn't figure it out on my first playthrough, so it made some of these moments extremely funny. But what's going to happen here, folks, is there's going to be a bunch of the elite guys. but a lot of them are stood in water, so if you miss them with your shot, you can still stun them like I did that guy, because water conducts electricity, and they're stood in water. So there's a guy on the other side of this rock, so I'm going to introduce him to the concept of shooting round corners. There you go. And his buddy's just over there, so as long as you get it in his vicinity, you'll hit him. Once you've hit him, everybody else is asleep, there's no more guards, run to the boat, you've just done the level. And that's a 10-minute mission, so it's pretty quick. And I think on the world leaderboard when this was recorded, this scores either 6th in the world or 8th, I can't remember. But bear in mind, there's not that many people played the game at this point, it's just everybody that bought it on release, and those scores are going to get significantly better, give people time. I can guarantee that, because I'm definitely going to try to do some high score runs on this game if I can figure out some fun ways to optimize my scoring, and hopefully I'll be able to bring those videos as well to you, and you can watch those and take some more enjoyment from the game that is Splinter Cell Blacklist, because it's a fantastic title, folks. A lot of people have trepidation over this one after Conviction. This one blows Conviction out of the water. Conviction looks like a misstep on an otherwise strong path of Splinter Cells. But that's the end of the mission, folks. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.